Hello everyone, this is Marcel here. I'd like to welcome you to my channel. Hope you're all having an epic evening. The subject of this video is going to be how men don't understand women. Supposedly, anyway. So you think about the scenario. Guy's dating a girl, has everything going on, normal day. He gets in trouble for something. He starts analyzing whatever it is that she's pissed off about. They discuss it a little, fight about it some, and by the end of it, he's completely confused and frustrated, and she finally gives up and says, "You just don't understand me. You don't get women." It doesn't really matter what suggestions he gave, what answers he gave, solutions to the problem, they're all gonna be wrong. It's basically just a big emotional shit show where he winds up being the bad guy. All the while, the guy's baffled as to what really happened, and he keeps hearing this repeated phrase, "You don't get women. You don't understand women." It's spread through culture, it's spread through society, it's in the media. Anywhere you look, you're gonna find ways to understand women, figure out the way they work, the way their minds work. Pickup artists are out there spinning silver bullets. You got people that are supposed to be coaches and gurus selling answers to blue pill guys that can't figure it out. Time and time again, these guys try different ways approaching women, smiling, looking them in the eye, and none of it seems to really truly work. So they fall back on it. You just don't understand women. There's something else that you need to learn. Some other tool or method, the perfect phrase to unlock their minds and find the secrets within. Yeah? Even amongst prominent MGTOW, there's talk about women having some kind of special power over men. Like they've got this sort of a way to bewitch them and coax them into things, and it's this secret that they talk about in meetings when men aren't around, like this hush-hush kind of stuff. They've got this power and only occasionally allude to it, that it's there. But you know that it's there because they leave clues occasionally, the power of women. Well, gentlemen, if you have ever wondered or wanted to know the secret, the answer as to understanding women, I'll tell you it now. I figured it out. Are you ready for this? The reason why men can't figure out women is that they're not supposed to. And it's actually because there's nothing to figure out. It's a surprise to no one that women constantly change. We all know this. Well, that goes for everything. That goes for their personalities, that goes for their desires, that goes for their behavioral patterns. When it comes to a guy wanting to understand them, it benefits them not to be understood. It's the only way they can remain elusive and confusing and keep guys on their toes constantly, especially with the kind of woman that relies on that sort of behavior. The ones that are hardest to understand are that way intentionally, but in reality, they don't even know what they want. They don't know their own selves. And the minute a guy starts to figure it out in like a relationship or something, they change up the game so that they can fall back on him not getting it, him not understanding. Let's tear this down into chunks so it's easier to chew. Firstly, men, the creatures that founded society, that built it from the ground up, master crafters of science and art and philosophy. These champions of all things don't get women? Seriously? The only way that women could stay elusive, if you want to call it that, on such a grand scale is if they were changing things as they go. It's all smoke and mirrors, guys. It's an illusion. And there's a purpose for it, too. By allowing guys to think that there's some kind of a big mystery involved, the guy's own imagination fills in the blanks of how interesting and deep the woman must be. Then years down the road, when he actually figures it out, she's got plausible deniability. She never said she was one way or the other. She just said that he didn't understand it. Besides, it's not going to matter. He's already going to be married with a bunch of kids anyway. What can he do about it? Let's do a comparison. On Game of Thrones, when the Dragon Queen is trying to win over all these different people to build her armies, and she runs into the one that's playing hardball and wants to marry her and is offering her everything in his throne room to do it. Little minor spoiler here. And she finally goes back and basically kicks in the door, and the thrones are empty, and she locks him in there to die. Guys don't always get to see how empty the throne room is until long after the marriage, unless they're really lucky. The illusion of complexity can justify a lot. She's not just acting crazy, it's her behavior. It's all supposed to be that way. Here's another comparison just for fun. You remember that episode of South Park when the government was trying to seem like they had all this conspiracy stuff going on, and they kept intentionally dropping clues for Cartman and all them to find, when in reality they weren't actually behind any of it? But doing so, acting as if they were behind all of it, made them seem powerful, or at least more so than they actually were. And if people didn't think the conspiracies, that they would lose a lot of fear for this supposedly all-powerful government. Furthermore, it kept the conspiracy theorists busy, kept them occupied, distracted from the actual problems. Though I don't recall if that was pointed out in the episode. How many guys do you think would stay with their girlfriends if they knew that there was just nothing behind their behaviors? That they were literally just changing every day, there was nothing to figure out, no complexity there, they were just running on emotions at a whim. Would they stick around? Would it be a sucker punch to figure that out? It would basically invalidate all that effort that the guy had put into trying to figure out women or the relationship in the first place. Now, don't get me wrong, guys get there eventually, but it's usually a long time down the road. Then you have to deal with all these gurus and pickup artists, people that are telling all these guys how to talk to women and fix the problem, all these methods and formulas and stuff, numbers games. Well, I'm going to tell you the secret of that too. Not to say that I have anything against pickup artists. If they want to spend their energy and time that way, then more power to them. Having said that, if you put aside all of the seminars and the monthly payments and the books and the costs associated with it, self-help videos, because I guarantee that's a big part of that business. When you have a guy, any blue pill guy that can't figure out women, and you redirect his energy to focus on making himself look better, buying better clothes, and have him approach women more confidently, regularly, he's going to get action more often. But there's flaws in that concept too, and I'll get to that specifically in another video. There's more to it. But the point is that that's not actually helping him understand women. It's basically just making him a better male chameleon, artificially inflating his market value. When you look at the big picture here, this is one of the reasons why women get so upset when guys generalize about them. You know, this whole Nawalt push, not all women are like that. They hate that. Whereas it's perfectly fine for them to generalize about guys. Look at what the typical guy is. Nobody gives them grief for it. But then why is it that it's such a big deal when the same goes back at them? Well, the reason for that is if we can generalize them, if we can put them in a box, as they so often do to guys, then we demystify what it is to be woman. They don't like it when people start to pin them down because they lose their ability to squirm around being figured out. And at the very least, if nothing more, the fact that all these guys are fighting so hard to figure them out in the first place keeps them busy. It keeps them distracted from the real problem, the way that they're actually getting treated. If most of them were to just step back and look at that one fact, their general treatment, it would be a massive game changer. My advice to any guy who were out there still trying to figure out women, even after all of this, don't waste your energy. There's nothing to figure out. All women are different in their own quirky ways, and they're all going to change as soon as you try and figure them out anyway. Take all that energy and focus and redirect it in on yourself, improve yourself, do the things that you want to do, and go your own way. Anyhow, I hope this was an interesting video. If you think I missed something, then let me know down below. If you agree, disagree, think I'm full of shit, I want to know it. If you want to hear more content like mine, like and subscribe. Until next time, this has been Marcel.